Hey everybody, good evening. How are you doing? So I just came back from church. We are having a program in church and I thought for Summer, can you give me the tripod, please? Is this Natasha's matter? You see, it will seem as though it's not your business. This is Natasha. Today is Natasha. Tomorrow we don't know who it will be. And that is why I have said, I just got back now, but we need to do what we need to do. Okay. If you have a daughter, if you understand how the political space works, you will not sound the way you are sounding. You won't take it as though it is a matter between South and the Kogi people. No. You see, if you watch the video I posted about the two lawyers who laid down the principles of how the rule of law should happen, you will discover that the second man was not biased. And this man said things and laid down those principles. See, when we start precedents, like when we establish things, we should know that we will one day not be on this earth, and our children will be. You might be an old man and the man that is old, maybe the woman that is old, and your child is trying, your girl child is trying to rise to a position where she'll be in power. How will you feel if somebody treated her the way they treated Natasha? Today, you might think it's about who you are supporting. Let's go past that, who you are supporting. If I want support from government, I think I will even get support faster from Akpabio than Natasha, but I am not a selfish person. I always go out for things that tomorrow is pregnant. Now, let me give you a short story here. Growing up, when I see house helps being maltreated or being treated a certain way, I'll be like, oh, why are they treating these house helps like this? It's maybe because they should treat them well. This is not fair. It's not nice. But you know what? I said if they were kind to them, if they were kind to these house helps, the house helps would have done better. But because they are not kind to them, that's why they are not doing better. God allowed me to marry. When I got married, God allowed me to have house help when I had the triplet. Those house helps showed me shege. And after they showed me that shege, I now remembered one day that do not judge a shoe you have not entered. Do not judge a shoe you have not walked in. Do not judge. I was busy saying, oh, maybe the people who are... You understand? So you would think that, oh, the reason why this person is doing the same way, it's because of... Do you understand? They are not treating the person well. There are house helps that you practically lay down your life and they will still give you, they will still show you shaggy. So in Natasha's case, my point is clear. Natasha did not report the Senate president to the whole Senate. Something happened. Natasha noticed that since she said no to this man, each time she comes to the Senate, she will raise her hand, the man will not call. Why should an institution like the Senate be personalized to the point that somebody will have to travel to the UK to see Akpabio for their motion or for whatever it is they are trying to bring before the floor of the Senate to be heard? Isn't it something that we should condemn? Today is Natasha. I don't know who it will be tomorrow. Now let us even say something. Ireti Kingigbe, a woman that Peter Obi's name, Peter Obi's glory covered. This woman was not planning with Natasha, but Natasha saw that a woman needed support on the floor of the Senate, because I watched their sitting. I watched all their, I like to, follow up on things. Natasha had to lend her voice to support Ireti. You guys remember when she walked out on senators and they made her to apologize? That is what the Senate is good for. They keep suppressing women. They keep suppressing women. And when you raise your hand, it has to be somebody who is in the clique of Akpabio. Is that what a Senate is supposed to be? Is a real Senate supposed to be a place where Akpabio would plan with a select few, and they will make decision? This one man from Ekiti, who even lied after quoting the Bible to say that the former Ekiti state governor had said that Natasha, blackmailed him. And the man came out to say nobody blackmailed him. That Natasha never lied against him, never accused him. So these are the issues. Today you are celebrating because it's an Akpabio. Hey, it's your person. Oh, you are doing this. But you do not know that this life is about precedence. You don't know what you are setting. It's waiting for you in front. Ireti is not going to win again, my dear. She knows. Ireti will not win, especially now that she and Wike, they cannot even sleep and close eye together. She's not winning because this is a woman that, Abuja people, they don't talk much. They deliver on their promise. You saw a woman who supported you. I'm not even saying support Natasha on the allegation. But madam, you were not even in plenary when this thing happened. Keep quiet. So Akpabio calls all of you and tells you, go there and defend me because the social media is pushing the narrative of gender inclusiveness. And you did not even say, because you are not feeling well. But you were so strong to come to Arise to try to trivialize her claims. Now, there are two things to this. This woman never went to the floor of the Senate to accuse Akpabio of anything. She had everything under wraps and discussed with her husband. And they were still trying to be very civil with the Senate president. Whether we like it or not, he's the one that holds the knife at the other end. And this lady had tried, the husband had spoken to him. In fact, to the point she mentioned that she had to go to Akpabio's guest house because people in the Senate told her, go and speak to him. So it means that the Senate is a place where the Senate president had jacked every law. So the law only works when it has to do with the ordinary person. So let us even flip the coin. What if Natasha's husband was not influential? What if Natasha's husband did not have money? Because now the people who are in Akpabio's cabal had said that Natasha should be stripped of her privileges. Her domestic staff will not be paid. She will not receive salary, which is a normal thing when people are going on such suspensions. But that should be like 3 months. But now he's saying he demands an apology. So, sir, the question is, what apology are you asking for? Is it the apology that you did not do what she said you did? Or the apology that she went to the media? But now, it's so funny how you people call media and forget that there are cameras, reporting everything live that happens in the Senate. There are cameras in the Senate. So even that Natasha went to the public, and I even remembered when Natasha was called on the Embelembe, she mentioned that there are certain things she will not be talking about on air. And even if she's saying it, she's not going to call names, because by so doing, the law will protect her, because it's not allowed. So now, how come Akpabio is now the judge in his own case? That is the question I'm asking. How is Akpabio the one receiving the prayers, receiving the petitions? If Akpabio had somebody who is advising him, I thought the wife was so articulate as she portrayed it to be. She would have advised him, step aside. That doesn't mean you are no longer the Senate president. Nobody is impeaching you. Nobody is recalling you. Step aside. Your deputy will stand in your place, receive those things. Because no matter what you did, whether you were in your right or way or whatever it is, nobody is going to take your judgment for what it is. I don't know why people are not being advised. I don't know who is even advising you people. Is it that you don't have somebody to even advise you people? Because it's so funny how some people have sat down, when they sit at the type, they'll say, Natasha broke the rules. So what about the rules Akpabio broke? Who is going to punish him for those rules? Today is Natasha. Everybody is turning a blind eye. All the people that used to do, oh, gender inclusiveness, they will go and do because they are paying them. But this one is because it's free talk. They are quiet. All the owners of NGOs, I've not seen them talk about it. Because this one does not have to do with money. But if we're posting things that have to do with, oh, if you have an NGO, bring it, let us list it and pay money. You people know that you'll be the #1 person to be there. Be careful what you support. I've used myself how would I put it, as an example to tell you that while I was growing up, I used to feel that, oh, house helps misbehaved because their madam or their oga did not treat them well. When I started having house helps, I treated them well to the point that a deacon in my church called my husband and said, this is your wife. Protect her. These girls are stressing her and she's trying to live at peace with them and she's losing it. I didn't say anything to anybody, but the man looked at me and saw that in my house, I was almost living in fear. Because I didn't want to hurt them. I wanted to treat them right, but I did not know how to draw the line. To know who the madam is, because naturally, I don't even act like a madam. So today is Natasha, and everybody say, after all, it's Natasha. Is it her fault that she's beautiful? Because I've seen that recently, some women, when a woman is beautiful and she's confident, they are angry. The fact that you are boxed into that, oh, you're married, so you relegate everything to the background. And you see a woman who is confident and her husband supports her. Are you guys not even worried that Akpabio all of a sudden is copying everything Natasha does? Natasha's husband went to the Senate with the wife because he knew that the wife needed support, and then gave the wife a kiss to say, I am behind you. And the next morning, Akpabio's wife dresses in white. The husband wears white again. And they went to the Senate to go and kiss. I don't understand. Natasha is the youngest in all of this. I expected her to be the one being petty. But how can a Senate president be petty? Now you people are talking about, oh, we are from South-South. We should support South-South. Me, I don't support impunity. Because I have children. Whatever I'm supporting now, I am supporting it so that tomorrow, my own children will not be silenced. And I pity some of you because you do not know what you are doing. Have you noticed that if you have followed me carefully, you see that I don't talk about anything cross-river politics. You know why? Most people in the cross-river politics are somehow related to me. So because they are related to me, I will not talk about anything in their... Because if I talk for or against, people will misinterpret it. So right now, Akpabio is not related to me. Natasha is not related to me. And I'm not talking because Natasha is a woman. I am saying that things should be done the right way. But it's so funny that most of you, because you love Akpabio so much, you have now covered all the wrongs Akpabio has done, and you are now magnifying and amplifying that which you think Natasha had done. But I want to leave you with this. Keep supporting wrong. But you see, one thing I know is, if you support wrong and your gaze is in that wrong, one day that wrong will come to you. But when you stand for truth, even when you are no more, your children, posterity will be kind to your children. And even the angels will support your children. Be careful what you support. I don't know Natasha. I have never met her. It is easier for me to meet Akpabio than meet Natasha. But it's not about that. If in this life you are not selfless, you will be in trouble. You need to be a selfless person to be able to move from point 1 to point 2. Stop supporting what is not good. I've seen a lot of men criticizing what Akpabio had done. But some women, like the woman I blocked, she came under my post to disrespect herself. And I took my time and went to her page. It was not somebody I should stress over. I simply replied her and blocked her. So, that's all I have to say. It's men who have spoken up. But in the first place, if we want to even talk about morals, is Akpabio supposed to be a senator? Let alone a Senate president, that's #3 man. A man that has so many allegations with the EFCC. When Akpabio was to be, Senate president, I did a video and I talked about it. And I looked as though I didn't know what I was saying. Akpabio has been accused of the same thing by 2 women. And the wife did not see it as a problem. Even when the wife was crying, oh, go and apologize to Natasha. And the same Akpabio had twisted Natasha to accept that apology. And she did, because they are threatening her. She and the chief whip have threatened her a day prior. Like, let's say the midnight of that gave birth to the day of the sitting. And she had to accept it. But in everything we are doing, whether it is politics, you say it's lobbying, like somebody said, don't you know what lobbying is? Whether it is lobbying, be careful. And I like the fact that even while they had read her suspension to her and said as Natasha was stepping out, she saw a mic that was not yet turned off. And she left a statement. That is a woman that is brave. That's a woman that has not lost her voice. Now, I think maybe I'm understanding what Natasha is going through, because I have faced a similar thing before, where somebody hurt me, somebody hit my neck. I was on a neck collar for 3 months. And then the people in the establishment tried to change the story. I was the one that was hit. I was the one that was wounded. But they changed the story and tried to use it. It's a Hausa thing. So I understand what it means for someone to hurt you and still make you feel like you are and still act the victim. Maybe some of you do not understand. But I pray you don't support Akpabio to the point where you meet a situation in life that you are left between the devil and the blue sea, and you cannot make a decision for yourself. You cannot defend yourself. Because what we support, we become. But I pray for Akpabio that he will live on earth. Akpabio will be on earth. He will not die. Akpabio will be on earth. His own child will get up to be in a position. And Akpabio will stay and cannot influence it. It will happen. Let me tell you something about Kama. When they say, oh, Kama is rich, Kama is not this, Kama is this. What did Akpabio do to Saraki? Akpabio was disrespectful. See, Natasha was not even disrespectful though. Hey, Akpabio, you people should go and look at the clips. Disrespected the Senate president, said all manner of things against the Senate president. He stood in a seat that was not his seat and was saying things. But you know what? Did they treat Akpabio this way? No. But Akpabio, a woman accused you of harassment. All you needed to do, if you were truly honorable, that is why Peter Obi say, nobody is honorable. It's the process that brought you in. If that process is honorable, then we can now call you honorable. If Akpabio was having people that are not worshiping him and are telling him the truth, he would say, the House, senators, please, I want to step aside. Let my deputy handle this. So whatever Akpabio now does underground will not be too obvious. But this is Akpabio with so much impunity, sitting in the hallowed chamber, collecting petition from Natasha, taking prayers, passing judgments. Oh my God. In fact, I went to church today so happy that I was able to stand for a woman. I went to church so happy that I was able to stand for a woman. And I came back and I said, let me come live. Because you see this matter, I feel like going to see Akpabio to ask him questions. Even though Nigeria has been anyhow, is that how you want to now show the world that Nigeria has finished? Because you see this thing Akpabio had done, he has laid precedents. And you know this thing they say, if you are in Nigeria and price of food goes up, it can never come down. That is how policies happen in Nigeria. You remember how Nigeria fuel went to 1,500? It took a Dangote, a one man, to bring down fuel, and then somebody does a fuel examination and says, oh, he's doing an experience that if you put Dangote's fuel, it doesn't, evaporate, you use it longer and all that. That was all that guy needed to do. And social media went and go. At the end of the day, Dangote kept reducing his fuel price, kept reducing. That was when government eventually did. A government that does not care about you. Every time in my church, even in my private home fellowship or in our our prayer group in the house. We pray for Nigeria. But we cannot stand up to say a girl child is being treated this way. And we are not coming out to protest. The people that went out to protest, they were thrown tear gas at. Then the people that were protesting for Akpabio, they were allowed to protest. And you people are sitting down and thinking that it is okay. One day, we will get up in Nigeria and the government will carry guns and visit house to house and take lives of people. And we will say it's okay. I am not related to Natasha, but I feel the pain I feel for what has happened to her. Not because of the suspension. That's not her life. But I'm flipping the coin. Let us even assume that Natasha did not have an influential husband. Natasha did not have money. Natasha did not have anything influence. Have you seen why a lot of married women end up sleeping with their bosses? How many married women turn their bosses down? How many? You people will not understand this thing you are seeing today. 10, 15 years down the road, this thing will come haunting Nigerians. This thing you are seeing, it looks like a joke today. But I promise anybody who is supporting Akpabio on this matter, you, your children, your siblings, your members, the members of your family, you will get to a point in life where nobody can defend you and you can't defend yourself. And I want you to mark today. You will get to a point in your life when your voice will not be heard. And it will happen. Because you think it's Natasha. No. Natasha was the one funding her abuse. Natasha was the one doing everything because they denied her all privileges. So when I saw people saying, Natasha is talking now after she was flying and doing all those things, do you think Natasha is from a poor family or she's a poor person? I have so many people who have worked closely with Natasha. She's not every nonsense people have said on the media against her. Natasha is a fighter. She's an activist. Natasha is somebody that her people love. Have you seen the kind of constituency projects she does for her people? A woman that won an election, they tried to overturn the election, they tried to do magu-magu, and her people stood their ground, and she got back her mandate. You think that's a woman to toy with? Today is Natasha. That is what I came to say. We don't know who is next. But be careful what you support. Every day in my life, I am very careful what I support because I have children. And because most times when I say things, I support things, people don't understand. I support from the point of emotional, how will I explain it? Self-esteem. I believe that whatever it is that has happened, if maybe somebody wrongs you, and instead of you throwing the baby with the bad water, try to see how you can maybe lecture the person. A lot of people don't know better. If they knew better, they would do better. But some of you, because God has lifted you from all that you were, all the yama you went through, and then you have seen yourself as being tinted, like nothing can touch you. You are all Alpha and Omega. In fact, some of you, if care is not taken, you will say you are more than God. But you see this life we are living. Be careful what you do to people's children. Because tomorrow is pregnant. I leave you with this words. When you plant apple, you can never reap oranges. Be careful.